This is my helmet. And this is also my helmet. Oh yeah. And there's this piece too. As much as I love these helmets, we're not talking about those today, but instead, the helmet covers. What you'll notice is I have 3 of them all in the Hexonia style. This is the style used by the Kommando Spezialkräfte when they were issued the Ops Corps or Hexonia helmets. And right out of the gate, they all look really authentic. This one in the middle has 5-farb covering. It's got the brown stretch material, really nice olive drab elastic bungee cords, and pretty good Velcro. And it also looks the same as this one. This one over here just looks like a tan version of it. But one of these helmet covers is not like the others. One of these is the elusive one from Hexonia, and the other 2 are reproductions. Hopefully, you can't tell just from seeing them here. But today, we're going to talk about the Roman Kurmaz reproductions of the Hexonia helmet cover. Of course, I'm going to put the helmet cover onto my personal helmet, but let's also take a look at these off of them. Let's first take a look at the 5-farb ones. For this segment of the review, we're going to keep the reproduction one on the left and the real one on the right. Each of these helmet covers features a hole for the NVG shroud, bungee cords on either side, stretch material, and multiple Velcro spots. Side by side, you can see that the materials used on the reproduction one are incredibly close to that of the original. Not only is the Velcro a near identical match, if not the same Velcro, but the brown stretch material is identical on both of them as well. The weave of the material is perfect, absolutely spot on. I'm not sure what the denier is used, but this nylon is awesome. Side by side, in addition to the thread color, I see absolutely 0 differences. So huge props to Roman on that front. As we take a step back, we do see a few differences though. I do like that the toggles to hold the bungees in are the same. However, I do notice that the bungee on the Roman Kurmaz reproduction is just slightly darker than that of the real one. Additionally, the real Hexonia one has the bungees flow into the helmet, which you can see right here. Whereas on the Roman Kurmaz, they are hanging on the outside. I am saddened by the missing Velcro portion here, but this rear rectangle is pretty much the same, so at least that's done correctly. And while the stitching is almost identical in color and followed very closely, there are a couple issues that I have with it. Number 1, this square right here is for Roman Kurmaz's tag. However, it does prove to be a bit of an eyesore when compared to a clean slated real one. Additionally, in the center of the helmet, the Roman Kurmaz Repro sits further back, and this leaves some stitching shown there that isn't present on the original. My last major gripe are these stitching pieces shown here. As you can see on the original, they are not present, and these do serve a purpose, although again, not necessarily authentic. As we flip over to the underside, we can see that the Roman Kurmaz has a completely different attachment system when compared to the original. On the original, there is a reinforced lip that sits underneath the brow of the helmet, whereas Roman Kurmaz has opted for a more standardized method where you take Velcro pieces and hook them to the inside of the helmet. Additionally, there are 2 Velcro spots here to attach where the Hexonia Velcro is on the real one. So while I would absolutely love if it was improved to this, I can understand why he went for this design. This does make these helmets a little bit more universal in their attachment, although not as authentic. On the inside though, we see that we have the same Velcro lineup here. This small square to attach to the top of the helmet does sit, again, further back on the Roman Kurmaz than it does on the real one. There's about 2 inches of blank space here where this could be shifted upwards. Just a detail that I would like to see improved on future models if possible. However, what I would love to absolutely commend Roman on is his attention to detail and reinforcement in the stitching. As you can see, there's multiple layers of stitching there that are matched pretty identically on Roman's version. And as we flip to the very end piece, we see that these are pretty much the same as well. The Velcro on the original is closely matched by Roman Kurmaz's, although we do have the absence of the tag that produces those stitch marks on the other side, which I had mentioned earlier. That doesn't mean the Hexonia is without a tag though. It is right here. I want to refrain from showing the issue numbers, but what I really want to highlight is how the bungee cord here is a 1 piece, whereas on the Roman Kurmaz, it is 2 pieces. The 3-farb version does not differ whatsoever, except in color. All of the design pieces that you see, including my complaints, are shown here on the 3-farb version. You see extra stitch marks, you see the bungee in the back is not attached through the inside of the helmet, and you do see the tag stitch marks on the back. However, quality and build of this is absolutely incredible regardless, and the same across the board. Now here's why you'd want to buy a Roman Kurmaz reproduction over an original one. In my years of collecting, I have seen only a very small handful of these come up for sale, and they range from 80 euros upwards of 150. Whether or not they sold for that price, I am unsure, but this is definitely an expensive and hard to find piece. So something that looks almost perfectly accurate from the outside would be a fair substitute until you do find and can afford an original. I am going to mention Roman's price because over the last couple of years it has stayed the same, and I definitely think it warrants a price bump if he were to wish, but these were an excellent deal of 45 euros. For a stitch counter like me, I'd love if it was perfectly accurate. There are those gripes that are just gonna mess me up every time I look at them. But in general, this is a really solid reproduction. Roman, if you are watching this, I'd love to see those minor improvements, and I think it would help elevate these to the next level, to being an almost perfect, spot-on one-to-one match of the Real Hexonia covers. So as you can see from face value, there's not really any difference. Roman did a fantastic job recreating the materials used and the overall look of this helmet cover. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you and your helmets in the next one.